Hello everyone, welcome back to Marty Motoring. Today I am trying to finish this, including valve cover gaskets, fuel pump gaskets. We got the injectors back in with the new O-rings, the fuel rails back in. I've done so many little things to this and some bigger things over the past 3 months at this point. But yeah, let's dive in. Let's start with the valve cover gaskets and I'll kind of show you what I did so far. So if you're new to the channel or you're just stumbling upon this, there are 3 other parts to this series before this. It's kind of become a series. I thought it would be one video of me fixing an injector and it's turned into so much more. So this is kind of what we have going on. This is a 2013 LS460. It has almost 215,000 miles on it. And one of the injectors or connectors was bad. So all the injectors are cleaned, connectors are fixed, fuel rails in, both of them. We have new O-rings on all the injectors, intake manifolds off. That has new gaskets. I just did fuel pump gaskets as well as valve cover gaskets. I'm basically fixing all of the problems with this car. Most people probably would have let this go or, just driven it. But I was like, you know what, while I'm in here, let me just get it done and do a little mini overhaul. So at this point we have, this is new, PCV valve is new, new O-rings, valley plate is resealed, injectors are good, fuel lines all have new O-rings and gaskets. So those should be good. We're doing valve cover gaskets, like I said, fuel pump gaskets. You can see this side has already been started. This is a lot cleaner and this is kind of how it looked before. Super dirty, a lot of oil was leaking. So once all that is done, the car will kind of have a little bit of a revamp and overhaul. Should run a lot better. It's taken me a little while because just time and learning a lot along the way. Here we have all the parts. We have the fuel pumps. We have all of the ignition coils. So what I ran into last time, I got it pretty much together, but there was a fuel leak, had to take the fuel rails out, replace all of those O-rings just to be sure. They fit in super snug now. They were actually kind of hard to get in. Of course, I lubed them, put them in, and then hopefully that'll be good. So now let's cut to me doing the valve cover gaskets and fuel pump gaskets. So let's take a look inside the top of the engine here under the valve cover. Super clean actually, other than the oil residue for the fuel pump. Timing chain looks good. Yeah, super clean for the mileage. So we'll take this old gasket off. It's super hard, so I'm glad I'm changing that. That's what's leaking. Pretty much get all new seals for the ignition coils as well as the valve cover and also the fuel pump. So all new gaskets. It's gonna be way better. All right, so we have the driver's side valve cover. This is gonna get replaced. I'm gonna try to clean this up as well. We do have a couple, the VVT actuator, cam sensor, I believe, and then of course the oil cap. This is really where the big leak was, so I definitely want to spray right there. All right, so it's not perfect, but this is 11 years of dirt and grime. I'm not gonna get it off in like 30 minutes. This would just take way too long to get perfectly clean. but it's a little bit cleaner, and I cleaned up the edges just so I can kind of see if there are any future leaks. I'd be able to spot them. Use a little bit of super lube just around the edge here. I think we have it evenly in there. So we're gonna move this so we don't get anything on it. Again, 10 years worth. I don't know how good I'm gonna get it, but it will be a little bit cleaner. It kind of sits on top, but we're gonna wait to put that on until we get the fuel pump in. It also came with 2 new washers, so we will put those there, and they kind of will sit like that. There we go. You can kind of start to see where each part of the shape goes. And now I'll just have to like seat it in there. There's actually these 2 little O-rings that go on the threads of the fuel pump right there. So we got to change those out as well. The old ones look pretty worn and hard, so it's a good thing we're changing them. This was really hard to get out. I can feel it just being difficult to get in. Might have been easier to get in actually. This is super tight. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how hard this is to access anything. There's no room. Everything takes like a trick to get out. For as big of a car as it is, and the V8's not that big, there's not a whole lot of room. Valve cover is tightened down, but the fuel pump is still out. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this side, get both valve covers back on, and then we can do both fuel pumps and reconnect this to both. That's just gonna be an easier way of doing it with kind of everything else in the way. And now with the fuel pump off, we can start loosening all of the valve cover bolts. Wow, and this side looks super clean too for the mileage. Let's clean this up and replace the valve cover gasket, just like the other side, and then that part will be done. Now everything's tightened down. We have the fuel pump in on this side. We can put in the ignition coils with the new spark plug seals. And at this point, the fuel system and everything is connected back together. This is all good to go. This is all good to go. Everything's connected in here, sealed up, and I tested it. There's no leaks, no visible fuel leaks. So I think I want to say we're gonna be good. So if you've enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, you liked what you saw, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, especially if you want to follow along with more videos on this thing. If you hit subscribe, it just helps the channel. You can also go back and browse the old videos, kind of get caught up on this if this is the first video you're seeing. You can also follow me on Instagram at Marty Motoring. I'm always posting updates on there as well. I want to say thank you for watching, and as always, keep those wheels turning.